Which leads me to my favorite topic, and one that I've been preaching on high for years, is that higher education is a scam. It's a scam. It doesn't do anything for anybody. Didn't do anything for me. Hardly anything. And I'm very grateful that I went, and that my parents worked very hard to send me to college. But I've told them over time, it's like, Tucker had this great quote once. He was getting interviewed by this kid at, I believe, the University of Chicago. They might have gotten in trouble or whatever. He got an interview with Tucker Carlson, and Tucker told him, he's like, don't go to college. College is ridiculous. And that's what he told him. And he's like, I can give you a list of 100 books that would get you more educated than your stupid college would get you. And he's right about that. Like, Tucker was right about that. He was right about that then. He's right about it now, especially right about it now. And so why I wanted to focus on the education system in college was that the root of this lie of the falling apart of the business world is the higher education system. That is the root of all of this, of all of the careerism and the corporate malfeasance and the lies and all that kind of stuff. The education system is the root of this, the higher education system, universities, the colleges. And I've tread very lightly on this issue before. And I'm kind of done, honestly. Like, I'm not trying to pull punches and mince words anymore. I'm just not. Like, I think that there is a time for niceness and kindness, and there's a time to be very, very dead honest about something. And I'm just not wanting to pull the wool over anyone's eyes anymore and kind of just talk, circles around this or whatever. And I just want to go out and say it. Like, college it's a scam. And it's a scam that is getting exposed in real time. I think the past 5 years have been devastating for colleges and for schools in general, ever since COVID happened, but especially the universities, especially the elite, quote unquote, universities, Harvard, Yale, Ivies, Stanford, everything like that. And so, like, all of the stuff that's going on with the universities, particularly the elite ones, and basically like all the stuff about like the crazy like anti-Semitism of some of the people on campus and the crackdown of free speech by the pro-Palestinian people. And it's like all of the affirmative action stuff where like they discriminate against Indians and whites and Jews and everybody else. And they have all this safe space stuff and all these crazy people they have inside of the universities, and the cost of tuition just going crazy, not because of the higher education quality, because of the amount of administrators that they employ. It's like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? And it's just, and I think that now what we're seeing, and I think this really started to happen with the millennials, but I think is getting really louder with Gen Z, is that they're just kind of outright saying, it's like, dude, we've been screwed by this thing. Like, I'm going to be paying off loan debt. People are saying, I'm not saying this thankfully, but they're like, dude, I'm going to be paying off student loan debt until I'm 50. Like, I couldn't imagine that type of pressure, that type of debt that I have right now. And I've been in debt before. It sucks. It really sucks. And I use debt now. I use it to fund investments and things like that for my business and everything like that. But it's like, man, it just, I think people are kind of just done with it, man. I think they're just saying like, dude, like, why did I do this? Why did I get a degree in like, lesbian paramilitary African dance theory? And why did my grandma say it's a good idea? Why? And so that question why leads to the answer to that question why. The reason why college is falling apart is because it does not do what it promises to do. It does not do what it was promised to do, because what was promised to us in Gen Z is that college is a golden ticket. You're Willy Wonka in the chocolate factory, man. Just punch that thing in and you're golden. You'll get everything that you want, all that stuff. All you need is a degree. Just get a degree. I don't care what it's in, and you'll be set. And that's a lie. It's a malicious lie. It's an evil lie, because it's not that at all. It's not that at all. And I used to hear all the jokes surrounding that, hey, you'll never do what you majored in. Like, it doesn't really care what major you pick. Like, it really doesn't. Like, I thought it was all for show at a certain degree. I'm like, okay, like, fine. Like, I'm going to do, like, I'll get a, business degree, and I'll have a degree or I'll get a job in business or whatever, or like have a biology degree or a communications degree, whatever. It's like, it doesn't matter. It's just dumb. It's just dumb. And it's a malicious industry. It's a very, very, it preys on young people. It preys on their insecurities. It preys on their parents. And they're colluding with corporations and the elite industries around that part as well, to basically say the only way you'll be a success is if you go to one of us and you pay us $120,000 on non-bankruptable student loan debt. I can't comprehend how sinful that is. Like it's a evil thing to tell somebody, particularly a young person, by the way. You'll never be successful if you don't go to a university and go to college. Like, what is that? I remember I was talking about my brother earlier. My brother went to, I think, maybe one semester of community college. He's like, I don't like this at all. And they made people like my brother feel like they were stupid and feel like they were dumb. And they're not dumb and they're not stupid. They just have different interests or whatever. And so I think that like the other thing that I think is so funny about this is that particularly around the quote unquote elite universities, like I went to Harvard, I went to Yale. It's like, okay, fine. The irony is that it's not about the students being good at all. You know, I read this study a couple months ago. It blew my mind. You guys know that the most students at Harvard get A's? Like 80% of the grades they give out are A's. They don't fail anybody because they're so captured by this mindset that they will hear from the parents, they will hear from the schools, they will hear from whatever. How dare you give my child an F? Do you know what we're paying to get into this university? Do you know what we're paying to go to Harvard? I used to run through Harvard. I lived in Boston for a year. I ran through Harvard every single day. Just a place, man. It's not this hallowed ground that people think it is. It's just a place. And so most students at Harvard get A's. Again, the affirmative action that kind of it targets particularly Indians and Asian people, Chinese folks, like Japanese folks, everything like that, and white people, basically saying like, hey, we already have enough Asians, we already have enough white folks. It used to be, I think, more Jewish discrimination, so anti-Semitism back in the day. Now it's not, at least in some degree from what I've heard. I'm sure there's still of that inside of that because, there's been this whole stereotype, which is, I think, founded to some degree that Jewish students do really well. And I think that's cultural, just like it is with Asian folks in some parts of the white community and some part of the black community, by the way. Like the most successful immigrant population in the United States is Nigerian people. I think, at least from what I last saw, it's one of the most successful. So it's a cultural issue. I don't want to get bogged down in that. But anyways, so what this is, a university is not an educational institute. It's a credentialism factory. It's a credentialism factory only built to impress other people with the same credentials. Oh, you got an MBA from Yale? I got an MBA from Yale. Oh, you went to Columbia Law School? I went to Columbia Law School. Isn't that great that we went to Columbia Law School together? It's so absurd. It's so obnoxious. It's so gross. There's no, and ironically, there's no diversity to any of this. No matter how much they want to be like, well, we like all the LGBTQ stuff and we're accepting and we're loving and we want every race, every color, every creed, every religion, which they don't, by the way. They never have. They never will. So there is no diversity. You conform to the pattern of this university. Not like the Bible tells, do not conform to this pattern of the world. You will conform to the pattern of this world. You will conform to the university system. You will conform to this corporate boardroom in that other case. And any dissent, any diversity, oh boy, you are cast out of that kingdom so fast your head's going to spin. Of any real or tangible kind. We've seen this with Erica Christakis and the Weinsteins and everything like that. And this is exactly why all of these institutions, these higher education institutions in particular, why they're all going in the toilet. Because they're all poisoned with the same mindset. And that poisoning is leading them to death because no one tells them what they're doing wrong. They're all affirming each other. This is the danger of affirmation for the sake of affirmation. They can't tell anybody that they're not good because they're not good. The universities are not good. They don't help anybody with anything. And so my main goal is this. I was, again, very tentative to this. But now I'm almost militant about the way I feel, is that you shouldn't go to college. Do not go to college. I will never allow my kids, if I can help it, to step into one of these re-education camps that are masquerading as universities. I will never allow that. I will never allow my values to be poisoned by one of these vile institutions. I will never allow that ever. So what I would recommend to anybody who's watching this, if you want to go to college, think about it really hard. But what I would recommend now, knowing what I do, not 10 years removed from it, but 10 years about making the decision. So if you're 18 watching this in your shoes, do not go to college. Do anything with your time other than either go to college, or if you're a parent, send your children there. If you're a parent watching this right now, do not send your children to college. Do not do it. They will regret it and you will regret it. I promise you. Because they won't do anything. It doesn't do what they say it's going to do, the colleges meaning. In fact, I would argue you're harming them and harming yourself if you're an actual person deciding this for yourself by going to university, by sending your child to university. Find a way. Find another way. Do something else. Get innovative. Do not do what the narrative says. Plug out of the matrix. Do not go to college. Don't do it. They're dumb. They're stupid. Get your kids, and if they're already in school, by the way, and you're seeing all this stuff happen, you're seeing your kids get dumber, which is what they primarily teach people to do. They do not think for themselves, to abandon their values. If you see this happening with your kids or with yourself, if you're in college, get out immediately. Save yourself the 3 years. Save yourself the tens of thousands of dollars. Get yourself out if you're already in. And if you're not in, I would recommend not going in. I would recommend staying very, very far away. And did some good things come out of me coming to college? Of course they did. But times have changed, and it's a whole new world out there. And if I were you, I would stay as far away as I possibly could. Far away as I could, because it's not going to get any better. That I promise.